Somewhere between watching perfect friendships in TV shows and scrolling through perfectly curated pictures of friend groups on social media, a lot of us started believing that friendship should be simple, but let's be real, it isn't. First pill to swallow about friendships is that the average person, so pretty much 98% of people, aren't judging you. If you think other people are judging you, you are already judging yourself. Don't let validation from others define your worth. We are all imperfect beings. How can we be worthy to judge other people? I strongly dislike the phrase finding your people because today it almost feels like finding your people is finding people who meet specific requirements based on their character traits. If that means their clothing style, the books they like, the movies they like, all of those things, I used to believe that those were what defined a perfect friend. I've gone through a lot of friendship transitions in this past year, and I felt myself falling into this mindset, and it was actually so limiting and made me feel more lonely. I was surrounded with new people who were unlike my previous friends. The point that I'm trying to make here is that these new people, they didn't meet the specific requirements that I used to have for a friend. They didn't have the same clothing style as me. We rarely had any common interests. But the bottom line was I had fun with them. Because in my head, I didn't feel like they matched me aesthetically, I felt like these weren't the perfect friends for me, and I felt like even though they were my friends, these people weren't my people. To combat this feeling, I truthfully asked myself this question: what actually makes a good friend? If I were to go tell someone what makes a good friend, like what would I tell them? What would I teach people? And I came to 3 conclusions. Oh, this is just getting out of focus. The first one is that they are kind and loving towards me. The second one is that they encourage me and give me advice truthfully. And the third one, which is the most important one, is I feel happy and fulfilled around them. All of these new friends of mine ticked off all of these boxes, but because they didn't match my style or we didn't like to read the same book, I felt like they weren't enough, and that is a flaw and fault on my part. I truly had to, check in with myself and remind myself that if I'm truly happy around these people, shouldn't that be enough? Now, I think the most important part of this video is how can we be good friends to others? I truly believe that the most important way to do this is to make others feel seen. Show up for your friends. If that means remembering what they told you yesterday, checking in on them consistently. We need to let people know that they are loved and we love them. I've noticed that for me, oftentimes my doubts in friendships can come from uncertainty if the person even likes me in the first place. So our goal should be to let people know that we love them and we want to be spending time with them. Even though it can feel difficult and tedious sometimes to maybe show up to an event that you just didn't want to go to, like maybe your friend has invited you to their fundraiser and you're really tired and you just don't want to go. Making that extra effort to put your feelings aside and put your friends first is just one of the key ingredients that makes a good friend. Making the effort to remember the small details about someone can truly change the trajectory of a relationship. Platonic grief is something that I have dealt with one too many times. The issue that I face here is that I can't tell you that you're just not gonna have platonic grief. There's no magic way that I can eliminate that. But what I can do is I can tell you guys how you can move forward from it. I think the first major thing that you need to understand is that friendships usually end for a good reason. Friendships end because maybe you guys have a moral separation, you have different paths in lives that you want to take that just truly cannot align with each other, or you guys are just not gelling and you're not working together anymore. So whenever you feel platonic grief towards a friend, I want you to think of why that friendship ended. You may be thinking, oh, what happens if I just outgrow a friendship? You need to remember that outgrowing a friendship means that that friendship is no longer serving you. All friendships end when they are no longer serving you or the other person. So anytime you're thinking, I miss this friend so much, I want you to check in with yourself and be like, actually, if I was with this friend right now, I probably wouldn't be very happy. They probably wouldn't be serving me. They probably wouldn't be filling my cup. Once you make that distinction between who the person used to be when they were your friend and the person that they are now when they stop being your friend, you will be able to really become a stronger person. Because I often found myself looking back at the first version of a friend, the version of the friend that I loved, and then I'm looking at them, the version of the friend that I just can't get along with for one reason or another. You need to remember that people change, and when you're looking at a past friendship, don't look at the friend when they were your best friend. Look at the friend in the moment when it starts to go downhill. And I'm not saying look at them in a negative way, but even if you just make that, you need to make that distinction, guys. If you have a friend that you once used to get along with and then your morals change, look at them at the point when your morals changed, not at the point where you guys used to get along. And also, this may not apply to everyone, but I want you to think about the type of person you were when you were friends with that person. Were you the best version of yourself? I know for me specifically, with one of my friends, when I was friends with them, I was not the best version of myself. So remembering who I am today and who I am then was a key reminder to help me move on. If I knew that I wasn't reflecting the person I wanted to be then, why would I want to go back and put myself in that situation? This might seem like very generic advice, but truthfully, if you want to make new friends, you just have to start talking to more people. Whether this means the person in your year that you never talk to, just go and do it. I usually found myself walking to lessons alone a lot of the time, and that was mostly just because I didn't have lessons with many of my friends. But if I saw a classmate walking alone too, I wouldn't go and talk to them. Now I just make conversation with anyone, whether it's about how was their evening last night, what's the weather like today, what's school like today. Just spark a conversation, show that person that you have interest in them, and don't set your expectations too high. When I go into friendships now, I don't have any requirements or fantasies about how the friendship would be. But in the past, I had very high expectations of what I was expecting from a friendship. And if it didn't meet those expectations, then I would just push it aside. Having that mindset really limited me into learning new things and learning about new types of people. At the end of the day, most people want to be spoken to, most people want to feel seen. So just go ahead, make those moves and talk to the person you usually wouldn't talk to. Maybe friendship isn't about finding the perfect people. Maybe it's about finding the people that make you feel loved, appreciated and seen.